Welcome to Over 50 TV. My name is Lou Reyes. Well, if you're among the 40% of folks, Social Security beneficiaries who must pay federal income taxes on your benefits, well, I might have some good news for you. According to White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt, she said on Thursday that the Trump administration, she said they plan to implement the largest tax cut in history. And this is going to be done through a series of legislative actions to eliminate taxes. And that does include eliminating taxes on those Social Security benefits. Now, will these tax cuts, will they really happen? Well, on Thursday, Leavitt told reporters, she also told reporters that the president, she said, yeah, he's committed to working with Congress to get this done. But it does remain to be seen whether these tax cuts, whether all the tax cuts and the policies in the president's plan remains to be seen if these will be implemented in the pending legislation. Now, this does include eliminating taxes on tips and overtime. But for now, what I'm going to do, I thought I would do for you in this video, is I'm just going to give you an overview. I'll talk about how these tax cuts, how they could affect you, and I'll also talk about the overall implications, and that is up next. Welcome back to Over 50 TV. My name is Lou Reyes. Now, as I said before that break in this video, the rest of the video anyway, what I want to do is talk about President Trump's plan to eliminate Social Security taxes. Now, there are a lot of sides of this coin, and there are some implications that I think could have a long-term effect on Social Security. And I've created a one-sheeter that just talks about the key parts of President Trump's plan to eliminate Social Security taxes. So this will give you an idea exactly what is probably about to happen here, because I do think that this plan will go into effect. So let me go ahead and pull up my one-sheeter so you can check it out. And at the top here, obviously, I've got a summary of President Trump's plan to eliminate Social Security taxes and his proposal. Just a succinct, the proposal, I'll say this. The Trump administration plans to eliminate taxes on Social Security benefits for seniors, and this will impact 27 million beneficiaries who currently pay taxes on these benefits. If his plan goes through as is, talked about, yeah, they won't be paying taxes on Social Security. We're going to wait and see, but this is what we're looking at. So what are the let's put this in an economic context just so that you can see it. The tax cut would be offset, according to President Trump, by tariffs and other measures. Now, when we say tariffs and other measures, we're talking about two things, obviously. Number one, tariffs. It remains to be seen, number one, if we're going to have tariffs, because with the tariffs that were applied to Mexico and applied to Canada were, I'll just say, rescinded or temporarily postponed for 30 days. We know that happened. Now we're waiting to see what will happen after the 30 days are over, but we're also waiting to see if the president is going to be implementing tariffs on steel, which we're hearing now, also on European nations. So we're going to wait and see about that. Now, the other measures, and I'll highlight this, the other measures I'm assuming are going to be cutting federal programs. We'll see if that's going to happen. So yeah, that's the economic context. The tax cut will be offset by tariffs and other measures, what we're hearing. Now, the beneficiaries who are affected, or really everybody on Social Security, just about every single person. I can't imagine you wouldn't be. But let's go and look at what we say. I'm going to highlight the second part here. Wealthier retirees who earn above $25,000 annually would benefit the most. Now, these are single filers. I want to make sure I point that out. So it's $25,000 annually. So if you've been a Social Security filer, you're paying taxes, chances are you're making a higher income than the rest of the folks. We're talking about 40% of people are paying taxes, and Social Security means 60% aren't. So yeah, you're going to benefit the most if this plan it goes forth, and I believe that it will actually. Revenue impact. Let's talk about revenue impact. I think this is important. Estimated revenue loss is $1.8 trillion between 2025 and 2026 and 2035. Now, let's explain this so that we all understand. If the 40% of folks who have been paying taxes on Social Security, that money flows into Social Security, into the trust fund. It just flows in. It helps fund it. Let's just say that. It helps fund Social Security. So we're talking about a revenue loss, a potential revenue loss of 1.8 trillion between 2026, because those folks who are paying into it now won't be paying into it. So that's that much less going in. Now this includes 1.05 trillion less for Social Security and 750 billion less for Medicare. And this potentially advances Social Security's insolvency by over a year to 2035. I've heard 2034. I've heard 2035. I've heard 2036. I'm going with 2035 because that's the number that I've heard the most from economists. Now, economists, speaking of them, they're warning that this could worsen the national debt. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Now, the public opinion, which I know President Trump, being a political animal, he is going to be paying attention to the polls. And what he is hearing, is going to be hearing anyway, if he's paying attention, which I know he is, 78% of Americans oppose tax cuts that increase the national debt. This is according to the Peter G. Peterson Foundation poll. And I believe Peter G. Peterson was at one time, I think he was Secretary of State. Secretary of the Treasury, I believe. I could be wrong, but I know he had a higher position in one of the administrations, and he now has his foundation poll. That's what they turned up. Now, also, 53% of voters prioritize reducing the federal deficit over tax cuts, according to a USA Today and Suffolk University poll. I am going to say that I'm going to raise my hand because I'm one of those folks. I believe this. I'd rather prioritize reducing the federal deficit over tax cuts. These tax cuts, they are significant. There's no question. But what's also significant is the national debt that we have, and I'd rather prioritize the federal deficit. So, yeah. So this is two polls that we see. Again, I think I know President Trump's a political animal. He's going to be paying attention to the polls. Now, I'm going to say, I put this under the category of political development. I didn't know what other title to give that, but it's important. House Republicans are working on budget resolutions aligned with President Trump's tax priorities. They're going to fall in line, which is why this is on here, because I believe they're going to fall in line. They've got the majority in the Senate and in the House. I believe that, yeah, they will get this through. Somehow, some way, President Trump will get it through. So, yeah, political development, House Republicans are working on it right now. And then the potential consequences. While appealing to retirees, the proposal could worsen Social Security's financial health and lead to benefit cuts. 17% benefit cuts when the trust funds run out. Yeah, this is obviously a very serious situation here. And let me get back to putting myself on the full screen here. So as you can see through this outline, it's just a quick summary that as of today, and today is what? Today's the 10th of February. Now things can change overnight, can change next minute. But this is what I have as for you right now, and this is the most current information, and this is from the White House press secretary, plus the other information that I have read that we have researched actually here at Over 50 TV to present to you. So it's important. I think you should really consider all the implications when you're looking at President Trump's plan to cut Social Security taxes. Well, there you go, my friends. I want to thank you for watching this video. If you happen to have any questions, any comments, go ahead and you can comment in the comment section. You can send me an email. I get back to folks as quickly as I possibly can. Now, I also want to invite you actually to sign up for my breaking news email. Now, this is the best way that I could find to keep you informed about the news that matters most to you. And I send you these essential updates. I send them to you as the news happens. I don't send them out every day, maybe once a week, even every other week. But you do get news as it happens. And this is essential, I call essential updates. You can sign up for my free, I should mention it is free. You can sign up for my free breaking news email just by going ahead and clicking on the link in the description box of this video. I also want to mention, if you like what you hear, you enjoyed watching this video, you want to see more videos like this on Over 50 TV, well, then go ahead and subscribe to our channel. I offer retirement tips. I also give you Social Security news. Now, one last thing. If you're somebody who wants to earn some extra money, and I think most of you out there, I know most folks who comment tell me they want to earn more, well, then go ahead and subscribe to my other YouTube channel. It's called Side Hustle Rules. And on that channel, what I do is I teach people through my videos. I show you how you can go ahead and start a side hustle or build a full-time business. I also give you some side hustle ideas, some tips, some ways that you can make and earn some money. Now, as many of you know out there, as many of you know, I'm not just the creator of Over 50 TV and Side Hustle Rules. I'm also a person who has spent my entire career building businesses. I built a chain of business to business magazines. I owned a weekly newspaper, a couple national trade show companies. I had a weekly radio program, and I launched almost a dozen other businesses, and most of them generated millions of dollars in sales. And I built all of them, by the way, built them all by scratch, so I can help you build the business that you want to build, whether it's a side hustle or a full-time gig. Well, again, that's all I have for you today. Now, as I always say, have a great day, everybody.